Hello everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and after you guys smashed the support on the Lorenzo Luca episode of Wonderkids Superstar, we've brought you another player who can reach equally as high a level. He's insane, he's a bargain, and he's a little bit of a goal scorer. Hello everybody, Jake here, and we are back with another episode of Wonderkid to Superstar. It's a series where we take a Wonderkid in Football Manager, put them to the higher end of their range and simulate how their career might go for you in Football Manager. In this case, if it goes well, you're about to see a player who can reach unbelievable levels of goal scoring talent, and if you get him on the low range of his potential range, he will still be one of the top goal scorers in Europe, so he's definitely one to keep an eye on. And with that being said, I don't want to waste too much more of your guys' time, but if you do enjoy this kind of content, just like you did on the Lorenzo Luca episode, smash the like button. It really does help us out on these videos in pushing them out to as many people as possible. Subscribe to the channel as we go for 125k subscribers. Drop a comment down below and rate this player out of 10 and let us know if you're going to sign him or any successes you've had with him. And finally, if you want to check out me and my channel, it's in the description. We've got a Newcastle save going on over there at the minute, about to start a massive second season transfer window, so I'm really excited for that. If you want to check it out, feel free to join. But yeah, let's get right into it. So we are here with Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga, and that isn't actually where this guy is. We're just using them. This is the team he's going to get transferred to. So if we go to the Bundesliga and go to competition, Bundesliga 2, that was a long-winded way of getting there. But then if we go to Dynamo Dresden, you will find a player that so many people have been talking about. Anyone that uses him is raving about him. He's got a hard to say name, but it's Ransford Yeboah Königsdörfer. Now, this is a German 19-year-old. You're probably thinking, where did he come from? He's 19, so he's had a few years in Football Manager where he could have been an amazing Wonderkid, and he just hasn't really turned up, I suppose. He hasn't really been in the games to that level, but this year he is insane. I'm going to put his potential range in the bottom left of your screen right now, so if you don't want that spoiled, look away. But to anyone who is seeing it, as you can see, bottom end, you're getting a very good goal scorer for very cheap, and high end, you're getting easily top 3 strikers in the whole of the game once he's fully developed. So yeah, here we go. Ransford Yeboah Königsdörfer, playing for Dynamo Dresden. He can be picked up for anywhere between basically just under £5 million. I found around 3 million, 2.5 million will get you the deal done, depending how you structure the deal, of course. And yeah, I don't know what he's doing here. He's actually came from Hertha a few years ago. He's in the second division, the Bundesliga 2. If he's not in your saves, chances are your database isn't big enough, but I imagine most people who loaded in the German leagues should find this guy because it automatically sets as having the second division and the first division unless you change it. So assuming you've got the German leagues loaded, you should hopefully find this guy in your saves. And I mean, he's pretty incredible for how cheap you can get him. He's a quick, pacey striker who at the age of 19 is 6 foot, which isn't too bad. Yes, he needs a bit of work in the strength department, but he's quick, pacey. You want him to get in and chase behind, likely as an advanced forward up front. Mentally, he's got a great set of attributes with good decision making, composure, anticipation, with some other decent mental attributes too, but it's his technicals where he gets really lethal for a player of his age. 15 technique, 15 passing, 15 finishing, 15 dribbling. Pretty good for a 19-year-old in the second division, am I right? So what we're going to do is bring him over to Borussia Dortmund, show you how we're going to train him to make him look like the player that he'll eventually become in this video, show you how we got there, and then we simulate 5 seasons with this guy at Dortmund. We're going to check in on him after 3 years and then after 5 years just to see how he's developing. So here is Ransford, and now let's quickly move him over to Dortmund. Okay, so Ransford is here at Borussia Dortmund. His value has shot up now that he's joined the club. Basically because he's playing for a club who have more pulling power in the transfer market. Still the same player, of course, but in terms of how we're training him, I'm focusing on the final third here. He's already got very good attributes for it, but I just think if we can get them attributes to a very high level, he'll do very well in the match engine, so that's what we're going for. That will change over time. We will have Mats Hummels mentoring him, who is a model citizen, and if we're talking about the tactic we're using, it's just the standard gegenpress preset, the 4-1-2-1-2 diamond. The only thing I've done differently is swap the complete forward to an advanced forward because I don't think Königsdörfer is at the level yet where he can play in that complete forward role. He's going to be partnered with Erling Haaland. They're going to be forced to play with each other. Yes, I could go and use a game-breaking tactic and make him look amazing, but it's not going to be a realistic version of what you guys might get in your saves. So we've done this so that you get a realistic output to what you would do in a standard tactic. So obviously, you'd imagine Erling Haaland will take up most of the goals, and I've done the 5-year simulation. I can tell you Ransford becomes amazing, but Haaland will, of course, sweep up all the goals. He's one of the best goal scorers, if not the best goal scorer in Football Manager this year. Very lethal, but with that being said, there's not much more to talk about other than to jump 3 years in the future and see how Königsdörfer has got on, and I can tell you he has developed into a very good player. Okay everyone, here we are, Season 3, the end of Season 3, 2024. Like the video if you are enjoying what you're about to see with Königsdörfer, but as we can see, Haaland is sweeping pretty much everything up, but he is about to join Real Madrid. But Königsdörfer might be the perfect replacement for this guy because he has become an insane player. Let's just start off with the attributes and the star rating. First of all, he's 22 years old and he's already at the point where he's considering moving on from the club because he believes he is at a higher level than Borussia Dortmund are. Bear in mind, this is one of the best teams in Germany and he still doesn't think this is the level for him, so it shows what kind of ambition he has. He's wanted by Milan, which I don't think would be the right move for him, but as a 4-star player at the club, he's still got plenty of potential to grow and develop. Obviously with Haaland here, it's going to be very hard to become a 5-star player, but this guy could potentially get there. If we talk about his physical growth, we did work on quickness in this 3rd season and it seems to have worked a treat. He is now very quick in this forward position and likes to beat the offside trap, so I think that's really good for a player in this match engine to try and use his pace to get in behind, hopefully get a one-on-one, in which case he's got very good composure, decision making, anticipation and off the ball, which is of course things that we worked on in training. Then add on top of that great technique, great finishing, great dribbling. The technicals haven't gone up too much because I really liked his technicals at the start, so I didn't think they were worth training as much as his mentals and physicals, but you guys, depending on how you want to mould him, could get them finishing attributes to wherever you want them to really. They could really skyrocket, but he is in an awesome position to be a top quality goal scorer, and if we look at how he's actually performed in the match engine, it's been pretty solid. I mean, bear in mind he was joining from a Bundesliga 2 club to play at one of the biggest clubs in the division. In the first season at the age of 19, he scored 14 goals, 2 assists. Bear in mind Erling Haaland as well would have been sweeping up most of the goals as we've seen. Next season, he improved on it, getting a 7.18 average match rating with 17 goals and 7 assists. And then the most recent season, as he's properly developed, we're starting to see the kind of player he could become. But this is definitely the kind of player you guys will absolutely love in your Football Manager saves. His potential is so high, he's not even reached it yet, he's got plenty of room to grow, and when you see him next, you're about to, it's going to blow your mind probably, because at the age of 24, 25, he is going to be one of the best goal scorers in all of Europe. So I won't keep any of you waiting, let's simulate to the 5th season, see how he's got on, check his landmarks, his awards, that kind of thing, and see what kind of player Ransford has become. Okay everybody, here we are, the end of Season 5, and it seems like Esposito has taken over Haaland's role as that top goal scorer in the team, but that doesn't mean that Ransford hasn't been doing well. If we go and have a look at how he's got on, attributes wise, he has become an insane player, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first I want to ask you guys to rate him out of 10 in the comments, take into account his value, the kind of player he's became and how he's performed in the match engine. And remember, if you want to check out a Newcastle save where we might be about to sign this guy, feel free to check that out, linked in the description. But Ransford, how has he got on? Well, as you can see, he's now a 5-star player. He has reached his potential here in this save. He's classed as a world-class striker, and I wouldn't take too much interest in his value right now because he does want to leave the club, basically because he's not happy here, as you saw 2 years ago. That's still the case, and that has kind of forced his value to go down because most clubs know that he wants out. But all you have to do is look at the clubs interested in him to realise what kind of player we've got here. Any club that's anyone in the world wants this guy, and there's no surprise why. Physically, he is exceptional. Still very quick, but he's also agile now, strong, with a good bit of stamina, good jumping reach, and nothing is really lacking in that physical department. If we talk about his mental attributes, he is probably one of the best mental attribute strikers I've ever saw, arguably because we focused in so much on that in our training that it's made his anticipation, his composure, his decision making, his flair, his off the ball, his work rate. They've all gone to a very, very high level, and that's not even talking about the fact that his vision is also so good. Like, he is an exceptional passer of the ball. Obviously, he did start with them great technical attributes, but this must have just been honed in on. I genuinely don't think there's an area where this guy lacks, because if we go to his technicals, obviously he does have that great passing and technique, but he's a great finisher, he's a great dribbler. Add on to that, he can do all the set pieces and score headers and long shots, cross a ball as well. He's got great first touch. Genuinely, he has developed into a crazy, crazy player. But do remember how cheap we got this guy. Under £5 million you can get him. We picked him up for 2.5. It doesn't show that in the history because we used the editor to bring him over to the club instead, just because that was the easiest way to do it, so I didn't have to wait for the contract negotiations and all that stuff. But genuinely, this guy is incredible. In terms of his goal scoring feats, yes, he's doing very well. Average match rating is very high. As he's become a good passer of the ball, he's setting up plenty of chances for his strike partner and other players on the pitch. 7.3 average match rating in arguably a fairly disappointing season is nothing to worry about. 7.3 is very good. 18 goals, 11 assists. Looks like he played less matches due to injury, and of course him wanting out of the club probably meant that his dynamics weren't too high and therefore he wasn't performing as well. He's became an incredible player. He's on top form. If we look at his milestones and things he's won, I think this is just a glitch with the beta, because we had this with Luka too, where even though he'd won European Best Player, it didn't show as an accolade. But I'm pretty sure he would have won one of the best players in the Bundesliga, Wonderkid awards, that kind of thing, because how would he not? And even if he didn't win awards, what does it matter? You've got to sign this guy for the price that he is. Imagine picking him and Lorenzo Luka up and putting them together in the formation that we're using currently with two strikers. You'd have a lethal partnership. So yeah, with that being said, that is Ransford, Yeboah, Königsdorfer. Again, apologies for butchering the name, but he's definitely a worthwhile pickup in my opinion. I'd give him probably an 8.5, 9 out of 10, just because I think Luka just pips him a little bit, just because of how well he performed in game. But to have a 5-star player at Borussia Dortmund, it's not often you see something like that. I mean, Haaland was at that level, and now Ransford is. So definitely pick him up in your guys' saves. Let me know what you thought down below. Feel free to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to check out my Newcastle save linked in the description, feel free. I've been Jake for FM Scout. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.